All I see is your browser failed to play the clip.
I'm so sorry. That was the wrong clip. But
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
what up? What the fuck is up, everybody?
All I know is
I think that
Firefox
was-
told me no.
I think that was the right clip.
Yes. What up? What are y'all doing? What are y'all here for? Go away.
All right, see y'all. It's nice
Apparently,
hanging
we're
out.
here to talk about the return of Nikita Lyons.
It's Dirt Sheet Radio, a professional wrestling podcast where we cover all the week's news with my
I
voice.
completely misheard you in her like confessional.
These are my confessions.
What?
I started this podcast to confess to you because I couldn't make it to a church. I don't clean between my toes. No,
Oh my god.
We can never podcast ever again.
Racist.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What up, Ben? If you can tell already, this is a professional wrestling podcast where we're talking about professional wrestling only. No toe-related content whatsoever. So all you feet fucks, I'm sorry. Introduce yourself, fellas.
Feedfinder.com/dirtsheetradio.
Oh
Don't.
my god.
I'll accept if they really want to sponsor us. I'll accept it, but it's gonna be a weird couple of weeks of me showing bare feet.
Well, we ruined the intros.
You got to tell the people who you are at
Why?
least, so they can know who they're listening to.
We don't really have to.
Our names are on the screen. No.
It's a hook to go listen to other episodes. You can find out over there.
Yeah. You really want to know? Make sure you go back, get your little checklist on your context clues.
We've actually set up a
man.
massive scavenger hunt over the last 143 episodes, and now is the time. If you can put together the secret message, I will send you one photograph of my back.
Ooh.
Oh man, I'm Greg. And Nick, I want to talk about your little headline here. Hot dogs, handshakes, no water.
That's what happens when you go backstage at the
Sure.
local indies and all of a sudden you get your hot dog. You get your handshake. The next thing you know, they're kicking you out saying, hey, you're not going to have any water.
I should have put that down on the thing because that was a real subject
That's
over the
why I'm
weekend.
starting with it right now, John.
That's
Take it over the
great.
show.
Thank you for that.
By the way, hi, it's Nick.
There's no structure here. The fucking Matt Cardona
You
tweeted
want
out.
structure? Why are you listening to Dirt Sheet Radio?
Nick Laraco is here to tell you why Cortana is the laziest heel turn in years.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Don't get him started, Greg, please.
I
He's
just
not
been muted.
gonna stop.
And then the show never starts.
He didn't get
one
muted.
whole hour.
He gets kicked.
Oh no, we lost Nick. You can go to bed early now.
Oh no, he's banned. What
Had to
happened?
work.
What happened? No, Matt
Why
Cardona
isn't he
tweeted
on
out,
the Wednesday show?
if you're an indie promoter, buy some cases of water for backstage. And if you can't afford it, stop running shows and quit the business. And you would think that this is like some general, everybody agrees thing. Like, yeah, bring water for the people you
Get the
ask
boys
to
some water.
wrestle. And all these fucking old fat indie promoter fucks are on Facebook like, I can't believe these ungrateful wrestlers asking for water. Like, it's fucking crazy. And the people that agree with them,
The amount of people I saw defending promoters was just depressing.
does your job give you water? I fucking
Yes!
hope so.
Yes, they do.
I actually hope so.
Bro, my job now, ever since we got the new manager, he brought us coffee.
That's a cool morale thing. I mean, it's not even about being nice. It's like you are hiring these people to come in and do physical activity for you, and you
Yeah.
can't even provide water, and then you
The
get mad that
basic
they asked for
nourishment.
it. These fucking lazy, cheap pieces of shit won't bring their own water, drink it out of the bathroom sink. That's crazy to me. But There it was. I mean,
Nourishment.
you can
What's
even
that?
look in the comments of Dirt Sheet Radio and see some of this stuff. Actually, that's pretty cool. I think
Interactive segment.
Interactive. Interactive.
I hope this whole thing is shit the bed on me. I wanted to share some of these comments on video. Look at that shit. That's cool as hell. I'll read them out loud for the people who are just listening to the podcast.
And for
Because
me,
there's-
who thinks that text is really
I
small.
can't see that.
There's some people. I think I can fix that. Probably not.
It's okay.
But there's
That's-
obviously some. There's obviously people that agree. You know, if you can't buy a few cases of water, what other corners are being cut? Right? Who put the ring together? Is the doctor actually licensed? Does the promoter have a license? Do they have liability insurance? If you cut small corners, then you tend to cut big corners, and that's fucking true. But then you got other people that
someone's been to a New York indie.
right. And you got other people who are like, it's not that deep. If I go to the gym, I bring my own water. What the fuck?
It's not the gym.
That's not comparable at all.
No one is paying me to be at the gym.
I wish.
It'd be
That's-
nice.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I'd love to get paid to be at the gym because then I'd actually go.
I'd be
Yeah, that'd be the
great
true
if you were
motivation.
paying me to do it.
Oh, those arms.
That would be great.
How many hours you want me to put in, dog? I got you.
I'd be a tank.
It's a lot of people who don't fucking who have a shitty life of their own, and they're like, everyone else should have a shitty life too. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck, bro? No,
Misery
you need
loves
to
company.
Which is
get a
very
new
pro
job.
wrestling.
You need to find a new job where they treat you with some respect or at least common decency. But yeah, thanks for bringing that up because I thought that was interesting that so many of
Which,
these.
by the way, is absolutely not the wrestling industry.
No, you find out. I mean, if you do enough research before you get in the business, you can get the hint that it's not all on the up and up. But
Yeah.
if you don't,
Take care of, like, I'm not advocating for the promoter's situation here, but as a defensive measure, take care of yourself.
yeah, I mean, you should always take care of yourself anyway.
That
But
goes into
It's
all
a-
industries.
Yeah, yeah.
especially
yeah.
in pro wrestling.
It is a rule. It is
Watch
a
out.
rule of pro wrestling in the ring, and it should also be a rule of the industry of it.
They'll
Yeah.
fuck you, man. They'll fuck you, and you'll be mad as hell. Like, why would they do this to me? Because they're looking to take advantage of any and every
yeah.
single situation. You need to just defend yourself. It's like I understand people wanting to clean things up, and it shouldn't be this way, but you'll probably be better off expending your efforts just taking care of yourself and not worrying about anybody else's bullshit.
The carny
Yeah.
business with people acting like carnies.
It's got its roots in carnival shit. Like, it's not even a joke. It's just what it is. You know, you can't
Yeah.
jump in the water and expect to come out dry. That's what it is.
And it's not even, it's not even independent of the occasional story where you just find out, oh, such and such promoter dipped out without paying anyone.
No, this is just history. This is just history. I've got a friend. I
You've known people that didn't get paid because the promoter skipped out.
I've known people who skipped out.
Same.
Damn, John.
I know both sides of the fucking rail, baby.
Damn, John.
In several capacities.
All over the place,
I'm
and
asking-
somehow I
asking-
still got no fucking sources. Nobody's feeding
I'm
me
asking
shit.
you that story when we stop recording.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. Nick can also.
This is the one
tell
I'm in the
us-
know of.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nick knows.
Oh boy.
It's
Nick,
all
tell
right.
us about AIW.
I still love him, but he's
A good guy.
people are mad.
There's
love
another
him.
one where out in this area, I'm gonna put him on blast because I knew some of the people that he took money
No.
from. Is this
Over
guy,
here, oh, in
Norm
Chicago?
Woodell in Chicago. He's this guy. He's got
You
like the
said
same
Norm
name,
Goodell?
Norm Woodell, not
Woodell.
not the actor, but he
Okay.
is literally taking people's money from like a training camp. I did like a free like 2-day camp there,
Oh,
and I was just
no.
like, this is cringe. this is so bad. And there's a lot of people that were just like, all right, let's go invest some money into this.
Mm.
And then next thing you know, it comes back next week. He's gone. Took all the stuff with him. No one could
Yep.
find him. No one could call him.
That's crazy. That's like right out of
It
a
is.
fucking sitcom. That's like you go back to the office and the office is gone. What
Right.
happened?
When I heard about that, I'm just like, that sounds about right. That's what it seemed like.
So wait, so now I actually want to ask. So we've all taken bumps.
I have.
Yeah, I have.
That's nice. That's cool.
We can have a match like fucking other dirt sheet people.
Okay, this is going somewhere.
It's
No,
time.
I'm not. I don't know, let you have your fucking shitty fun on your shitty promotion. Like that, all 200 people can have fun with that. I
Fast forward, we're the trios champs of dirt sheet wrestling.
who agreed to this? Who convinced me to do this?
I will do the match if we all do it in the DBZ cosplay we have art of.
Absolutely.
I will only do
That's
it.
the only one
I'll only
I
start
will
the
come out of
promotion if
retirement for
we,
that one match.
we
Yeah,
keep
the
the
Sims.
same initials. We DSR, but it's like dirt sheet wrestling. You see?
Yes. Dirt sheet
Fuck you!
wrestling.
I hate. I would never promote. I've never
sheet
even
wrestlers?
sniffed that urge to be a promoter. Like, I want to book wrestling. No, I played fucking EWR for like 6 months, and it overwhelmed me after. Not EWR, TEW. EWR was easy. TEW was the hard booking simulator that overwhelmed me and made me never want to
So-
book in my life.
So for one thing, I miss EWR and I wish I had a mobile app. 'Cause I
Yeah,
play the shit out of it.
it seems
Two-
like such a easy thing to do. I don't understand why.
I don't either, honestly, but it is what it is.
It's text based.
Yeah. And all the text is like already set up. It's not bringing up new text. It's they have that. It's got an algorithm. Two, I'd want to book, but I wouldn't want to promote. I want the promoter to hire me to book. You do that job. I'll be over here writing the show.
I couldn't do it. I just get so overwhelmed. Like, I don't know. Like, when I watch AEW, sometimes I'm thinking, like, you got all these fucking people, and people are getting like, well, why isn't this guy on TV? And I think about when I tried it, and I was like, I couldn't get everybody on the fucking show. I just couldn't.
You never
It's
can.
Hard.
That is a reality you have to accept. Some of those children
Yeah.
have to die.
Yeah.
Well,
It's fucked. That's why, and that's a good segue because that's what
dying children.
well, that fucking that overstuffed AEW, the not even just AEW, like both North American major locker rooms are like full.
Massive. Yeah.
Yeah. There's nowhere else for these people to go. I mean, that's just how I feel about it.
You absolutely have to settle for something. Then it's like, oh, TNA.
But you do have different wrestlers fucking
At least you
popping
might
in
be
and
on
out
top.
of free agency, and AEW signed Will Ospreay, but now you got Kazuchika Okada coming to set to become a free agent in 2024. There's
Yeah.
a bunch of fucking people in the field who are like,
Agents.
it's no big deal because Okada's contract always comes up, just like all the other New Japan wrestlers as they set their deals up to run out after Wrestle Kingdom. Very weird. But Sports Illustrated and Justin Barrasso are claim that Okada will explore his options because he wants to wrestle in another promotion. I took that picture, by the way. Very nice.
Hey.
Ooh.
The what do you guys
Too
think?
bad. Facebook will still cut you off for it.
You right? What do you guys
That's true.
think? First, will he actually leave? And then second, where's he going?
So off the top of my head, I don't think I am convinced he will leave. Someone added an interesting caveat to this, that Okada's wife is actually more famous in Japan than he is.
She is a massive, massive anime voice actress. As a
And
matter of fact, she's so massive that when he married her, he got death threats.
really,
Yeah,
Hmm.
that is weird. Those people are weird. But
that's idol culture, baby.
I guess so, man. So like, there's even less incentive for him to leave Japan or for her to leave Japan with him, right? and the strain that will put on that relationship. And of course, at some point they're going to want a child, and that's a whole thing. Like, there are certainly some tethers set in place to keep Okada in. I think at the end of the day, he makes the safe choice, but that's just me.
I think that there's a couple things in play. There's a couple reasons why he wouldn't leave. One is that he was on track to become a part of The Office at Bushiroad. And that's kind of the path that everybody expected for him. But I also am of the mind that Okada might be bored in Japan, and he didn't know that there would be a place in America where he could also live in Japan. Like, I don't think Okada knew for a long time how it would work over here. I think he thought he would just have to leave. So leaving New Japan
Like
was
Gunther and several other people did.
Yeah, they were just like, I would never fucking go to WWE or AEW because I would not want to leave my home country, my family.
Which, on record, Gunther was incredibly resistant about for years.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then he got a anchor fell off his. He cut an anchor off his leg, and he was free to go. But that being said, Okada was said to have. Remember, he came over to AEW Dynamite in Philadelphia just a couple weeks back. He teamed with Orange Cassidy against Bryan, and it kind of looked like, well, that was random, and it felt like Tony Khan maybe was trying to fill a stadium or something, but not really coax him, because I don't think I thought that it was even a thing. Like, first of all, I don't understand how Tony Khan he's taking all of their top guys. This is crazy. He's
It's
taking
because
all
of the
New Japan
giant
top
pillow
guys.
fort. They want to be in the pillow fort.
This fucking he took Omega.
Not the blanket
right?
fort.
He took Omega. He took Omega's replacement, Jay White. He took Jay White's replacement, Will Ospreay. Then he's like, the story is that when Okada came over to Philadelphia for Dynamite, he was kind of sussing out AEW to see how it would fit for him. So,
I imagine him being real trepidation. She's just like, I don't want to get TNA vibes.
yeah, exactly. He's
Yeah,
just
you
like,
don't
I've
like
been
it.
to America before. They dressed me up like a fucking Asian stereotype character. I just
movie
want to see what
character,
y'all do
or
here.
TV character, I guess.
Yeah,
did
the
become a
Green
movie
Hornet's sidekick.
Yeah, Kato.
They might as well have just called him Short Round or something. Fucking.
Oh no!
Shit. Holy shit.
It was bad. It was really bad. He was Samoa Joe's like driver or some weird
Which
shit.
I
It
think
was
is
dumb.
which is even more hilarious because Kato, known as famous Chinese actor.
That's what makes it racist.
TNA.
Not even a fucking Japanese stereotype. God damn it.
I think that Triple H wants Okada bad. I think Triple H has wanted Okada bad for a long time. As long as he's had Nakamura, as long as he's had his eyes on Nakamura, he wanted Okada as well. Him hearing this,
But he's already got Cody Rhodes.
Hey.
yeah, the 3-star general Cody Rhodes. No, that's fucked up. He's
All
evolved
this
past
adrenaline
that.
in my soul.
I think Triple H is willing to fucking empty the bank for Okada. I just
do
don't
too.
think that he's willing to give Okada the same
Assurance.
not just assurances, because what do you think Okada would want when it comes to assurances beyond just the ability to stay home? I'm sure, I imagine a certain amount of money, but that's obvious because he's worth a decent amount of money.
Yes. He is the bringer of rain.
I don't think he's asking for like put a world championship in my contract. Like that's a weird thing to. I don't know.
Because the thing too is like Shinsuke gets that perk because he loves traveling around and getting all of those like water towers and whatnot and baked goods. So Shinsuke gets to have that kind of extra bit. Whereas
Is that
like
what he
you
does in his
mentioned-
free time?
Yeah,
He
and he
likes
surfs a lot.
surfing.
Yeah, so he gets
The
to do all
surfing I
that
knew
fun
about,
stuff.
yes.
And Okada, I'm just looking at his stuff now. He actually is, just him and his wife have a newborn baby boy from August.
Oh, so they did.
So
have
he
a
does,
child.
yeah. So got a
That's
newborn
even
and
more
whatnot.
incentive to stay
So
home.
yeah, he probably wants to have the sure thing to be able to stay home, or at least be able to periodically come to the States and still work with like AEW or whatnot because they would let him.
That's gonna be real hard to do on that WWE schedule.
Exactly.
I just don't. I feel like I don't see a way. And maybe they've already discussed it or whatever. But if Okada decides to become a free agent and signs with, let's say, AEW, how the fuck? How does New Japan even feel about that? How have they been feeling? I would love to know what the perception is because they seem to love their partnership with AEW. And this is crazy that they do because they've never opened up like this. Like they've partnered with other companies before in America, like WCW, but then it ended badly with the Vince Russo thing. I think what was it? Hoovy took the
tequila bottle.
IWGP. Yeah, he took the junior heavyweight title from Jushin Liger with a tequila bottle finish, and they were like, "This American shit is garbage." And then they fucking tried again with TNA, and then they fucked their fucking future prospect. This American shit is garbage. So now they opened up again with AEW, and I feel like in a way where
we let the big white guy in, and oh no, he took our belt.
he opened up in this even bigger way. I feel like than they had with WCW.
Yeah. And I think that's just a matter of different executive powers too.
Yeah.
But holy shit, has Tony Khan been taking advantage? And I'm worried that it's going to be seen as something aggressive. Because when you take, when they take the Gaijin, it's one thing, right? I took your top Gaijin. It's fine. He's a Gaijin. We don't expect to keep them for long.
The Gaijin is never a permanent, and there's always more Gaijin.
There's been, if you look back in the history of Japanese top guys, the Three Musketeers, the Four Pillars.
Child.
Yeah, right. Child in the background. The Three Musketeers, the Four Pillars. There's never been a Japanese top guy to leave to America. Like, I'm just going. Bye-bye, everyone.
Shinsuke would likely be the biggest.
Yeah. Shinsuke is the biggest, and when he left, he was already shifted out of the top of the card. He was second.
He was literally given a second banana belt to main event second banana shows.
Like, we created something just so that we can use him because he's too important to.
We're never going to make him a top. Yeah, we're never going to make him a top guy, but we need to make him a feature. Here's a belt.
But there's never been a guy on top in Japan who left to leave. There's been guys who were on top in Japan and then went and worked in America for a little while. I think specifically of like Muda becoming an NWA world champion.
And there's top guys who have left to go to other Japanese things.
Yeah, 100%. There's top guys who have
company.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's guys who left and took the company with them.
That's how we've made other promotions.
Yeah,
but this would be a big fucking blow to New Japan, I think. And I know even if Okada's done everything, and even if he's done every different creative thing they could possibly do with him, he is still a big draw. People come to these shows to see Okada. Women come to these shows to see Okada. Kids come to these shows to see Okada. Even if they still had access to him in AEW for big shows, that's a massive fucking blow to New Japan's business. What do they do about it? I almost feel like that would end the relationship if they fucking got Kazuchika Okada. That's scary as fuck.
I don't know that it would end the relationship, but I understand exactly why you would think that. I just I wonder if that is so much a part of the situation there, where it's like, well, let Okada have a spell over there as long as he can still make such and such big show at the end of tour.
I do think there's a second way. I think if they're like, I don't want to call it copium, but if they were thinking about it like, you know what, Okada was gonna leave anyway, and Tony Khan signing him is like the only way we were gonna even keep a little bit of him,
retain some service,
then maybe they might see it as like a savior situation. Kind of like, I feel like Will Ospreay, where they're like, we were going to lose him to WWE, and this was like the way to keep him away from there. But like we said earlier, Ospreay is a gaijin, so it didn't matter if they in their minds, they would just replace him. But I don't think they're ready to replace Okada right now. I think they're still setting up.
Yeah. They are trying. I'd argue that this Wrestle Kingdom is the is probably the freshest main event they've seen in a very long time.
And the weakest card in a little while, but
Maybe.
wow. But yeah,
So like
They do get good access though to a bunch of like AEW guys as well for the card though.
they got Moxley. They got who else is on there? The Gates of Agony.
Danielson.
No. Danielson, that's right. Fuck yeah. Danielson, the two of the biggest stars in the company. No Omega.
You talking
That's
about Wrestle Kingdom
crazy.
still?
Yeah.
Yeah. El Desperado, my boy.
That's bad.
That's very
Wait. But yeah, man, Okada free agent in 2024. That's going to be a big fucking deal and something to watch. And could you imagine if WWE gets him? I would
That's
flip
a
my
scary
shit.
thought.
That's actually Kazuchika Okada versus Shinsuke Nakamura, WrestleMania 40. The 9 minutes.
well.
Shinsuke wins with a low blow.
Oh, not again.
Not
hate,
You can't keep getting away with it.
I hate this.
I hate it here.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
AEW bringing the hammer down on the social media misconduct. My boy,
The American Cop.
Bryan Danielson. I mean, let's not misunderstand the situation. It's not Bryan
Let's not.
Danielson
American narc.
watching the social media and being like, "You deserve a fine." It's a bunch of other people doing it.
That's
and
John.
Being like,
No.
being like, "Here, Mr. Muscle Man, please take care of the fines because we."
You imagine if he's like the literal grammar Nazi, like, oh, he misspelled something, find him.
Hey, they're like, I think you're really misunderstanding the social media misconduct thing, Brian. Did you see him? He tweeted all those words with no indentations. That's a wall
He
of text.
used the wrong
should fire
form of
him.
there.
He's not using a good use of the semicolon.
No.
It's just handing out syntax
last
fines.
Last week you had that Britt Baker
Almost
thing
twice.
where she tweeted out about how many minutes on the fucking promo or how many minutes she got compared to Christian and MJF, and
You know what's the
people were
longest
weird
promo
about
she's
it.
had instantly? That She Devil music video.
Oh wow. Well, she made the tweet, and then people asked Sean Ross Sapp about it on his fucking stream thing, and
Why would
he
you do that?
mentioned that Brian had begun handing out fines for social media misconduct. I don't know that the two are related, but it was brought up because of the Britt Baker situation, and people kind of noticed that Soraya hadn't been tweeting lately. So yeah, Sean Ross Sapp reported that he had heard of a couple people that had been fined already, and
Mhm.
it was Soraya that had been going back and forth with fans recently, and all of a sudden stopped. So it was like, okay, well, I think we found I think we found one of the culprits. But what do you guys think about this? Because I feel like these tweets personally, I feel like they don't help AEW's perception situation when it comes to locker room stuff. The first thing you see is people bring up the damn CM Punk thing. Well, CM Punk is gone, and look, people are still unhappy.
Yeah, I've certainly heard that that sort of thing before. People like, I've definitely heard the suggestion that like, oh, like Punk left and there's still problems in the locker room. Maybe maybe Punk wasn't the issue. It's just like there's degrees to that conversation. I just think the real problem at the end of the day is just like poor leadership.
I think that's again one of the biggest things, like you said, is because Tony Khan doesn't step up like a boss.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people completely still respect him as a boss at this point. At least I can't speak for the wrestlers, but like
at least if you're like a veteran, it feels like they could easily take advantage of him.
Yeah. The rest of this stuff is interesting because like I think there was the idea that compared to the incredibly corporate system of the WWE, which is not only just a pretty fairly well controlled company, but one that is a publicly traded company, and that sort of thing really matters.
Mhm.
There was this idea that AEW just comes with a certain level of freedom to it, to be yourself and to express yourself and all that sort of stuff. And then we found out where all that expression goes.
I think that some of this stuff was inevitable.
100%.
It's I almost feel like this is why I enjoy the company more because of how because
How
the
lawless
stuff
it is.
not so much the lawlessness, but because
Okay.
it's more pro wrestling to me. Like this is how pro wrestling was described to me in every book I read, in every shoot interview I watched. These people came up with their ideas, they pitched it, and they got through. Some things got over, some things didn't. I think in a corporate environment, we lost that for so long that I'm willing to overcompensate. Like I'm okay. Okay, some of it didn't work, but you know what? The shit that did work, that fucking hit. Boy, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. If it doesn't work, then go to the back and get your shit together and find someone to help you. I'm sorry. This doesn't seem to be the place where they have someone to guide your hand and help you along. And the people that are there are mad that nobody's coming up to ask them. If you hear all the old people complaining online about, I was there and nobody asked me for advice.
Do you remember like early on in AEW when it felt like the apart from like the Tino Sabatelli thing, where there was nothing that could really shake them backstage, and like it seemed like so united those first couple years, and especially like social media, and it was like, yeah, it's all pancakes and rainbows, and it's
All
great,
love,
and
baby.
It's
pure love and-
crazy how you can almost pinpoint the moment that all those things
It
changed.
shifted.
I wonder when that was. I would have to take some time in August 2021. I think that today the Pandora's box is open and some people are just unhappy and they're not going to be happy unless they're given exactly what they want. And what they want is probably detrimental to what is planned and what is already set up and the things that are already meant to happen. So,
Mr.
I don't
Khan,
think-
I know there's 200 other people on the roster, but can I be the top guy?
yeah, there's a lot of that, I think, too. But some of it is justified because some people are like, you gave me this push, and then I thought things were going to be so perfect for me, and then it didn't. And now somebody else is on top, and it feels like my turn is slipping away.
And then you signed Ospreay.
And then you sign Will Ospreay. Now I'm even more scared.
And now you're gonna probably sign Okada.
I think that's been a palpable problem ever since AEW started. That like, I am pretty sure a lot of people started that year one coming in with like ideas about not only what they were going to do, but about where their careers were going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of getting, I think it's one thing to get beaten out by another member of the locker room, but when you keep losing your spot to the bigger outsider that's coming in,
It's
that's
scary.
a bit deflating.
It is. It kind of reminds you of TNA a little bit.
Sure.
And not so bad. And like, not like we're bringing in every fucking person who gets released and putting them over our guys. It'd be
Although
like,
there was quite a bit of that.
listen, I'll never get over CM Punk pinning Hangman the first match. What the fuck were you people thinking?
Again, as the Punk fan, I know that's a bad idea.
The
I said it
first
on the
match.
cast.
God damn it!
That was a bad idea.
But there are people that feel that way. Absolutely. I think that it doesn't help today that the WWE. Remember we talked about the dude, I forgot his name, Michael Mann, who came in from WWE and took over production, live
Okay.
production for AEW. He actually fired Kevin Sullivan, the production guy, not the devil worshiper. Who we've talked about, who did WCW in its final days, who did TNA Impact for 20 years, who was a long-time professional wrestling producer that had made friends in the locker room and with people who had been there since day one.
Yeah.
And he gets fired by a WWE guy. And now the people are like, look, another one. But I also feel like on a roster with so many people, if you get a text from 5 of them and you say on your podcast that I know, AEW is at its most profitable it's ever been in the history, but there's a lot of negativity going around. It's like it kind of paints a picture like the whole locker room feels this way. And I can't
Sure.
imagine that that's true. I can't imagine that's even close to true because
Okay.
there's so many people who are benefiting right now. there's a group of people that I imagine the Britt Bakers, the Sammy Guevaras, possibly the Kip Sabians. But
Well, Kip Sabian has never had a happy moment.
I think maybe he's resigned and understands, and he just laughs at the people who don't get it yet.
I got to have a box on my head and just sit in the front row and
He's
watch
just in the
everything.
back with his Starbucks, just like, oh,
Yeah.
y'all think y'all still have a chance.
Oh, that's funny. Did you read the news? It seems there's a little rain in the forecast.
Remember Dark? Get ready for these times.
You used to complain about AEW Dark. Don't you fucking miss it?
Those are the good days, right?
Oh man.
I think there's a perception though with WWE getting hotter, AEW people like laughing at the things they do. Oh my god, their attendance is so poor.
Hearing a lot of that.
Mhm. Hard camera.
Hard
Hard
cam
cam.
side. They didn't feel the hard cam side. And it is true that the attendance is down. It's declined. They're not filling up every single building. I think this week in particular, they had a horrible situation in Canada where they did a Collision ROH taping on Tuesday and only had 2,000 people in a building that held like 13,000. But they don't air Collision in Canada. So it's like, what the fuck? What are we even doing? Booking a Collision in a building that big when they don't air the fucking show in Canada. You put these wrestlers in a situation where they have to perform in front of a half-empty building. That's demoralizing.
Oh yeah.
I worry for the wrestlers who had to perform that night and how they felt afterwards and having to go online and having to read things like that. But the reality is that AEW is probably still doing better than any secondary promotions is WCW. They're making more money than they ever had. They sold out the fucking. I mean, not sold out. Did you see the Wembley? Did you see Wembley? What the fuck is it with Wembley? I didn't think they would sell it out twice, but they've almost sold 40,000 tickets, and they've got about 9 months left.
All right, there we go. No worries.
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, they're gonna
Okay.
be fine.
You're gonna be quite all right. And then you watch the
Literally,
show.
the money you
Gonna
make
be
from the
alright.
gate from Wembley alone can help function you for like the rest of the year.
They've actually doubled the ticket prices because of they had to speed up the set construction so that Taylor Swift can get a second show in. So they had to
Oh, really?
raise prices in order to afford that. Yeah. So the tickets cost more, and you would think that would affect the fucking sales, but they just sold anyway. And
Nothing like competing with Taylor Swift.
I mean, competing with and then eventually having to collaborate with, because otherwise you weren't going to get the spot. I can't imagine that Wembley was going to be like, well, sorry, Taylor. You can't do that second show.
We
We
got
have a
wrestling here.
wrestling.
RASSLIN, that's wrestling.
Tony Khan
No.
even talked about, though, I believe that he even had a little bit of investment into the Taylor Swift show to help out there and build some goodwill there. So
He did.
Taylor Swift is all elite.
And then they had that no, I was thinking of the Doja Cat thing. Never mind. They were collaborating with all these big giant women
Music acts.
superstars. They should bring them in to perform. And I know that it bothers some fans to bring things from the outside, but it's so fucking successful. Like, it's so good at bringing attention. I can't imagine it's the worst thing in the world to do a performance that doesn't go more than like 10 minutes. Especially if it's not.
outside. I don't hate outside music acts. I prefer it when the musical act can be connected to something on the program.
Yeah, I imagine you make them the theme song of the event, and then they perform. It's pretty simple, I think, to tie it in. Like
Sure.
Limp Bizkit at the WrestleMania shows when they would sing, and then the video package would play behind them, but they're
Which is
singing
just
it
a video
live.
package you would have aired on screen
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Plus Undertaker's theme song.
That's
I like
fine.
shit. I like shit like that.
I'm remembering having to sit through Diddy and Diddy Dirty Money and all that other shit at WrestleMania 29 and just going, why?
Yeah, I remember enjoying that. I was in the audience. So I got a Diddy
did
concert.
not.
I got a whole ass Diddy concert. I've never been to a Diddy concert. That was awesome. Happened to me at Double or Nothing, where I was in this floor next to the stage, and then Ruby Soho comes out and fucking Rancid is playing her out. So I turn around and now I'm in the pit at a fucking Rancid concert. These things are very cool. I like this shit. I wouldn't mind Doja Cat. Could you imagine having something like that? Like someone relevant like that on television for you. That's great shit. It goes on all the websites, all the sites you lost when you lost Jade. Fucking
Plus, when you think about it too, that'll help you sell out arenas if you promote it.
oh my god, Swifties watching AEW.
That-
You had
that's
put her
like-
in you put her in a relationship with Kenny Omega like they did
Oh my god.
Oh, can you imagine
Oh,
Oh my
fuck.
Taylor Swift
Can't you
and
fucking
Kenny Omega?
Can't you fucking imagine? Oh, the Kenny
Ah.
Omega Taylor Swift t-shirts.
I am
Please
ready
don't.
for that ship. That's the ship we're gonna be doing now, boys.
Oh dear God.
I can't I can't go further with this thought because I actually think about how much it's gonna work. like, hold on, maybe we should be working
She has a
towards
song
this.
about her One Winged Angel.
So,
Wow.
is there anything AEW can actually do to fix this perception? Because I feel like the past couple of weeks in particular, they heard all that shit about sports entertainment and they were like, shift the fucking shit. Let me turn this shit around. And these shows have been hitting. This Continental Classic shit, fuck me. This is bringing the feeling back, baby. I love this shit. But I don't know that it's helping the perception, is my point. I don't know that there's anything that can be done. Should they even worry about this?
Mm-mm.
I mean, remember too. Look at the time frame. December used to be really big in a lot of wrestling promotions and territories back in the day, but now it's just so vastly different. And yeah, with so many people too, like wanting to spend time with family and do the holiday stuff, you're not going to be able to guarantee a whole lot when it comes to ratings, when it comes to attendance in December, and that's a problem WWE has been facing for the last 15 years.
I'm starting to feel like when I see things like the Wembley show and I see even not just the Wembley show, the World's End pay-per-view and these other events that are selling much better than the ones that we're seeing doom and gloom about, I feel like maybe AEW should just don't even just push forward. Just put in your fucking put your head down, put your fucking just keep pushing forward, doing what you're doing. You shifted
Chin up,
into
tits out.
you shifted into a great fucking direction. I would hate to see them shift again because they're listening to fucking more bullshit. That's kind of what happened to the DC universe a long time ago. Like knee-jerk reaction after knee-jerk reaction, and then everything became a mess. I would
Star
hate-
Wars.
Yeah, that's so what happened with Star Wars. Knee-jerk reactions, just in both directions.
Oh, Halo.
God damn it. This can be the downfall of any successful franchise, couldn't it?
Yeah, it can.
Yep.
Yeah, it can.
AEW is nowhere near as successful as fucking Star Wars or these other things, so they need to watch their step. You're back on the right track, I feel like. Don't touch. Don't try. You got your entertainment angles, they're still there. Tony Storm fucking being introduced by the dude from Turner Classic Movies. That's fucking great entertainment shit.
That's so cool.
And MJF getting taken out, fucking Yamcha style.
Got
Backstage.
Yamsha'd by James Storm.
He fucking thinks he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. He got hit by the car. Leave him alone. He's living out his fucking WWE dreams. But it's But you also offset it by the goddamn Continental Classic and all this straight up great wrestling. So it's been hitting. I wonder
Who are we?
what are they even gonna do though after the Classic is done? Like, I don't want to see these 3 slots filled with bullshit now that the tournament is done. Let's just get back.
The weird thing you sometimes find with the idea of being so
I had the wrong banner up all this time. Nobody said
the
anything.
weird thing you find with attempting to be such a inclusive show content wise is like you sort of end up in that weird situation of being an entity that if it is a citizen of everywhere, it is a citizen of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much everyone's been saying the same thing about AEW, where it's like you're trying to serve the wrong
many masters.
It's too
So
many
many masters. Yeah.
You need to serve the original people who brought you here. That original million people. All that bullshit about growing an audience when WB was so happy with who they had. It's like, what the fuck made you get caught up with that? You leave it alone. We're fine. I was enjoying my life here. Oh, there we go.
Yay.
That's great.
MJF just got Yamcha'd.
Oh god, that's so good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Hey, Peter.
I'm good with AEW right now. I think they got a lot more up than they do down. That doesn't say there is no down, but fuck you. You look at this show and all the great things that I enjoy going on, and versus the things that I'd rather ignore. I feel like we're shooting for a good 70-30 right now. I am A-okay. I'm fine. But that's
Club
me.
is fine.
I don't know how you guys feel about it.
I don't know if I've ever had that huge of a problem with the quote some of the most sports entertainment aspects of it. I think it's been a part of wrestling for so long anyway that like some of it's hard to imagine being gone, but I don't know. I guess it depends on what people are talking about. If you're doing something that's incredibly silly, then I can understand like, okay, wait, like what kind of show are we here? Right?
Absolutely.
If it isn't incredibly outlandish, then I guess I'm going, what's the big deal?
Yeah, that's honestly how I feel too, because there's some wrestlers like a Jericho or an MJF, they're just such showmen that this is what you expect from anything that they're a part of, like 90% of the time. And other times,
granted, I thought the mimosa puddle was a bit over the top.
Yeah. I'll give them points for at least wanting to try it and see what happens. But I think one of the things to look at too is, look at Hangman and Swerve, the added elements of sports entertainment, so to speak, I think really helped emphasize that feud and help take that over the top. So I think as long as it's done well and it's not something that they consistently focus on, it's great because, again, I've always seen AEW as a variety show because they offer so many different types of things. If you want sports entertainment, they have bits and pieces of that. If you want something that's just straight up pro wrestling, they got a lot of that. And you want like anything else in between, they got deathmatch stuff, they got whatever else you're looking for. And that's what I appreciate about it.
I think people are looking for AEW to really just like make a stance, because at least if anything, like WWE is very much like, this is who we are, and they're very proud of it, and people want that energy from the quote alternative.
Yeah, I don't know. I see a lot, and to quote Tony Schiavone, I see a lot of WCW into it just because of the fact that. But
which WCW?
The good era, the mid-90s. Because like that was WCW's offerings were solid because you had like some fantastic wrestling when it came to the cruiserweights, then you had the showmanship in the main event scene, and you had all kinds of other fun things in between. They tested out with. They could have done a much better job with it, but they had like the women's wrestling at the time, which was like actually taken seriously too, which was
it?
Look at the mid-90s I'm talking about. Don't look at late 90s, Greg. Don't look at look at the late 90s. Cover your eyes, Greg. You're too young.
Are you talking about WWF's push towards the women's wrestling and with all the All Japan women?
I'm talking
WCW.
1996, 97 WCW Women's Division.
Medusa,
You know that
basically.
I don't know a fucking thing about that.
It's a lot of Medusa.
It was lots of Medusa, and then bringing over lots of the Joshi wrestlers.
Basically, Medusa and some of the French you made in Japan.
Yeah,
essentially, is
literally.
that...
And then they got Luna briefly.
So I mean, they brought Medusa in with the women's championship, but they didn't have any women before that, right? So they had to build this division around her anyway.
In and out, because they had Jacqueline, and that was the whole thing.
Yeah, they had Jacqueline and
they had
Sherry.
Miss Jackie and Sherry, yeah.
Sister Sherry at the time.
What the fuck were they doing though?
Sister Sherry was with Harlem Heat. That's why she was a sister.
Yeah. And then they had
Urban Gangsta Flavor.
And then Jackie was just
We're
used
coming for you.
to be the antithesis to woman.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all got here, but I appreciate that this conversation happened.
I was just talking about how AEW is like very much a variety show, and that's why I personally appreciate it.
Tony made a comparison to like mid-90s WCW.
No, Tony just accidentally called it WCW.
I wanted his women's division to be like women 90s WCW Cruiserweight. I remember that was the dream, and now here we are with Saraya.
Also, can we appreciate that it took 4 years for Tony Schiavone to accidentally call it WCW?
Meanwhile, JR's called it WWE like every other week.
Ever since day one.
Numerous times. I feel bad on the Saraya note, if only because I do remember when she was like goated.
She was great.
It was a better time.
There's so many different reasons and things you could go into with that, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yes.
What? Hold on a second.
What's up?
Let me you guys talk. I'll be right back.
Yeet.
Oh, snap. Oh, we're gonna yeet the trademark, Greg.
Yeet.
Oh.
We at Dirt Sheet Radio have not had any libations in preparation for this podcast.
Oh, exactly. I went right from one to the other. There was no time, even if I wanted to.
By the way, I did send this this image into the chat. I'll describe it. Someone was having fun with the prospect of a legacy match between a Lesnar and a Mir, as both daughters are in the amateur wrestling scene. It would appear.
Ooh, I know Lesnar's daughter. Everyone's just been talking about that lately. Is just how that's basically female Brock. There's no doubt who the father is there.
No,
there's a please don't kill me, Lesnar family.
Those strong Lesnar genetics won again.
People are like, "Wow, Brock is the father and the mother."
Jesus.
I didn't say that, Brock. Someone else completely did.
So it was somebody else.
I'm just quoting what I heard online on the internet.
He's gonna get you.
No.
Oh my god.
Bork laser.
I am genuinely sad about this because I love the Yeet stuff.
All right, well, I think we should just get into it. Now we've just been talking about it already.
Yeah.
For those of you who are unaware, there's a yeeting, so to speak. WWE had to yeet their trademark and yeet their merchandise when it came down to Jey Uso, because another wrestler from the independent circuit has the trademark on the concept of yeet when it comes down to the pro wrestling entertainment side.
And to be clear, to those of you who are might be curious at some level, trademarks are a very interesting thing. You have to be very specific about what you are using your trademark for.
Absolutely.
You don't get to like trademark a thing and then it is trademarked across all products. Like you have to be specific.
Exactly. Especially because it's so interesting too to trademark stuff within the world of professional wrestling, because it's within the realm of kind of sports, but also not, because it's also entertainment. So the way they usually do it is within like wrestling exhibition shows, which I think nowadays there's much more leniency for having to get certain trademarks for certain things.
Yeah. That industry can be so odd. So like the problem with that is typically it is very easy to make the mistake of crossing over with like, because it's an entertainment trademark, you can cross over with the movies and find yourself in a litigious situation.
Yeah. You gotta always be very careful and tread on the line of caution there.
Yeah.
And it seems that now, though, I've been seeing some updates from people on the Twitter X machine. A lot of people have been talking about the fact that the Yeet trademark application is currently suspended, and it's been suspended since last October.
Really?
So that could potentially be a reason behind WWE thinking they could pull the trigger on it still.
Yeet.
Yeet. I don't know.
Good for
Tough
Jey
thing.
Uso, man. I didn't think this would work. Straight up, I didn't think this would ever happen.
With Jey Uso solo run?
Yeah, man.
I
Never thought it would work.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be a little bit of a meme. They're going to try it, and like, wow, poor Jimmy.
But to drive a point home, this is the power of stellar writing.
Exactly, 100%.
This should be a lesson.
No, like good writing can help fix anything and make anyone popular and get over. And I mean, to the credit too, Jey Uso has been showing himself as a tremendous talent. I remember for a long time they just on Wikipedia had both Usos on the same Wikipedia article, and now they have separate ones.
Yeah. It's so odd because like it's so easy, even with being a great tag team. Like most of the time, two tag team guys are not. A great tag team is typically not two great singles guys.
Yeah.
You know, if you're lucky, you get one great singles guy, and that doesn't even always happen. It happens sometimes, not always.
On occasion.
On occasion. On occasion. I'm sorry. Oh man, we know who came out of that tag team. You typically get maybe one great guy, if not, just two sort of mid-level fellows. The idea that Jey Uso was able to just get charactered into a main event position, right? Like, again, the point is not to be good. The point is to be over.
For sure.
And hopefully you're good as well.
Absolutely. And I gotta give Jey Uso credit for being able to be good enough to persevere and literally main event at like Ford Field, and he's, I believe, been in the main event from all of the Big Four shows this year.
Yeah, and it's sort of a crazy testament to his journey that he was main eventing empty arenas and then ended up 2 years later in front of big ones, right?
Exactly. I mean, remember, it was a meme for the longest time that both the Usos were just the perpetual WrestleMania pre-show act.
Yeah, even with the belts.
Yeah, literally. And geez, even Jey Uso a couple years ago, they gave him the Andre the Giant Battle Royal victory.
So bizarre. It is truly sort of it's truly pretty impressive, at least to me. I never expected it. I even really like the shots of like the wave thing that Jimmy's picked up with the crowd now.
Yeah. Starts trademarking the wave.
Yeah, right. And you just know that Jay and Jimmy match at WrestleMania is going to be a big deal, at least for them.
Right.
That's the sort of thing. If you get like two brothers or just two people who came up wanting to get into the industry together, that's the dream, and they're gonna get to do that.
Oh, good for them.
And it won't even be complete nepotism. It'll be earned, at least because that bloodline angle was what it was.
Oh, for sure. And again, that's just like pure hard work and dedication on his part. And I don't know. I like to because I'm just looking right now at championships and accomplishments. Like Jay Uso has stuff from WWE, and then they also list things like awards from Rolling Stone, Pro Wrestling Illustrated, New York Post, and ESPN, CBS Sports. Like, that's crazy because again, I just think back to when I think of the Usos, I always think of when they came in with like the yellow tights alongside Tamina, and then they were just these tag team guys that got pushed to the wayside because the
I'm
Nexus
on
came
top. None of my people. Never
Oh,
did
that takes me
man that
back.
was out of my reach. It's getting so close. I fucking love that jam.
in. But
I truly do.
it's so cool to see again, like you said, what good writing is capable of.
I what was I thinking? Yeah. To the question of will this hurt them, I don't think it will at all because you know what? It's already entrenched, right?
Mhm.
Maybe they won't be able to sell the shirts. Fine. You're not gonna stop that crowd from saying yeet on every punch.
I have to go. My dog is very sick. I
Oh
don't
damn.
know.
Oh,
She's my wife thought she was dead, but she's not. So I'm going
Okay,
to try to
bro.
save her, and I will.
oh, right.
I guess
You
I
go
will
and do that.
see you
Jesus.
guys next week.
Take care of the dog.
Yep.
See you.
Yep. That was awkward.
All right.
Yeah, I saw like I was saying.
Do we have any
You know
control
that
over this?
I think I can find out how to give you control over this thing
assuming
so that
control.
you guys can finish without me. I might actually be able to just log in and direct on my phone while I sit in the passenger seat, but I guess for now, which how can I do this? It doesn't allow me to just give it to you, which is strange. That sucks.
I mean, we
But
cover like Jay and like a lot of other stuff. We hit an hour. We could probably just call it now.
yeah, I guess we'll call it for now, and we'll come back next week
Yeah.
abruptly.
Because I'm hitting close to my bedtime too.
But I
You know
will.
what? You could just knock out. If we want to knock out one thing, yeah, for what it's worth, Ric Flair probably was a bad idea from the start, isn't it?
It's
energy.
hard. I did want to say about that it's hard to when you find out that they're paying you, like they're not paying Ric Flair, like AEW's not paying Ric Flair, they're being paid to have him on their television show. It's like,
By the company pushing the product.
yeah, they're getting paid by the people
Interesting.
that own Woo Energy to like they're basically
Interesting.
he's like an advertisement. So it's like the Randy Savage Slim Jim
Slim
deal.
Jim. Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But yeah, so it's like, well, I kind of get it, but then he does the old any girls 18 to 28 come back to my hotel, and that kind of stuff doesn't work today.
that is
No, it does
not a
not.
woo.
That is
Yeah.
not a woo at all.
But I do gotta go, so I guess I will finish. I'll be able to. You guys can close it out, and I'll be able to finish it from from my phone.
All right.
And I'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right.
Are you going to miss WWE home videos, Nick?
Okay, so a lot of great moments have come from me being able to watch on home media. That's how I started watching a lot of wrestling, was because
Oh yeah.
my brother Tony had a lot of tapes, be it stuff that we recorded ourselves, or be it just actual physical media that we bought from whomever, be it Turner or the Coliseum video, and a lot of that is just kind of how I grew up, and it's going to be something that I'm going to personally miss. But
Mhm.
with just how much easier it is to access everything because of streaming, it's like there's no way this wasn't the direction things were going.
I agree, especially because like you sort of see they had started producing stuff specifically for the network or what became Peacock, the Peacock extension, where like you get those 24 documentaries, and those much smaller. I don't know if I'd call them smaller, but they seemed a little shorter documentary pieces, right? Like the Dudleyville one they did, and some of the stuff they done for a few other guys.
Speaking of, I went out of my way to order the Self-Destruction of Ultimate Warrior DVD. I saw like it's getting harder and harder to find, so I'm like, oh, I grabbed that.
I guess that is absolutely a content that must be preserved, right?
Oh, for sure. I'm not gonna ever I'm not gonna let WWE forget that one.
It's their song of the South. Like, no, this happened.
Yes, no revisionist history.
But yeah, unexpected and unfortunate events, which are benefited by the fact that this is actually a slow news week anyway. So I guess we could just sort of call it a night for everybody here. Nick, you want to talk about your other side piece?
Oh, I'm not supposed to publicly talk about my side piece, Greg.
Oh,
But yes, my brother Tony, that I mentioned him earlier, he runs the Cold Case Project. It's a channel that focuses on all kinds of disappearances, murders, and other cold cases. One of the most recent videos is 7 cold cases from the Unsolved Mysteries iceberg. That's right, there's a whole iceberg, and then there's part 1 and part 2, both of which are about an hour 45 minutes each. So again, if you're looking for true crime to binge, go check out Cold Case Project. And if that might be too long for you to sit through, we talked about that earlier. Yeah, just chill and watch some of the shorter ones. There's 5 haunting unsolved mass disappearances, 36 minutes long. Go give that a look. And hey, if you're in the mood for anything aromatherapy wise, there's always MONQ Monk, monq.com. Make sure for your purchase, for when you get something for your sweetie on holiday, be it the love flavor, be it maybe something to help you relax, maybe happy, maybe calm, focus, whatever you want. Make sure that when you go to purchase it, you use promo code DSR10, DSR10 to get 10% off your purchase of Monk today. Greg, what's going on, Major Issues?
Coming up next on the Major Issues podcast is actually me and Jonathan. Me and Jonathan will be talking about the 3rd season of the CW superhero series Superman and Lois. Its penultimate season with its final one coming up in season 4. We talk about everything we saw, what we thought about it, and our expectations for the final serving before CW's relationship with DC Comics comes to a final and complete stop. Over, I think, almost or just over a decade of programming of comic book television. Longer than a lot of places have gone.
Absolutely.
Comic book TV was almost like their identity over there at the CW for some time. That in Riverdale, God help us all. So
yeah, a lot of people can argue.
Come talk about the near closing to the end of an era as we look upon Superman and Lois and think about what might have been and what could be.
All right, well, there we go. That's the show. Believe it or not, wrestling podcast. That's another one for the books.
Yes. Don't worry, we've got like 8 of them now.
Yeah, just a good handful. 2 handfuls now. All right, well, we'll see y'all next week. Feel better, doggy.
Yes. Take care of yourselves.